Hi, thanks for checking out our repair channel. This will be just kind of a quick little overview of this unit. This is like a testing and how it works and that kind of stuff. This is a older model, Stafix is M20R. This unit will run off of 110 volt or 220 volt. This thing's wired up internally, set up for 110 volt here in the States. But I think looking at the back of the unit, it does say 110 to 240 or 120 to 240 unit. But this is wired up, set right now as a 110, 120 version. But this is Stafix M20R, came into us for repair. We just went through it, got it going again for the customer. We repaired the board, replacing capacitors in it that were weak, and just general testing on some other stuff that was in there, and everything else seems to be working fine. So we put it back together, and now it's working like a champ again. So this is a pretty strong unit. This is a 20 output joule, so it's probably like 30 some stored joules, I would guess. They don't state anywhere on the case what stored joule rating it is. Stafix and Speedrite usually don't. They rate all their stuff in output joules and tells you what you're getting out at the terminals. But anyways, if you've got one of these old Stafix M20Rs, they don't make them anymore, but if you've got one and it's not working right, we'd be happy to take a look at it for you. Like I said, we can repair boards on these things more often than replacements, and certain parts for these, like boards, are getting a little harder to come by. If you do find out, there's several $100s for the boards for them, and usually we can repair the boards depending on how bad it is. We can repair the boards, and we've got capacitors that you can that we can solder in to the boards to replace them if they're bad. If you buy a new board, it comes with all that crap already built onto it, and that's why they charge so much money for those boards. The same thing goes for like the M36 or the whatever Stafix is 36 joule or 63 joule, and then the Speedrite's got a Speedrite 36,000 and a 63,000. They're similar in shape and design as these. But if you need any help on repairs of one of these things, look us up. Go to our website. It's fencerfixer.com, and Fencer and Fixer is both spelled with an F as in Frank. We're located here in the United States, but we've helped people with troubleshooting and parts and stuff overseas, as well up in Canada. But we have helped people in Australia and New Zealand, different parts of Europe, and one guy down in India. And even a guy down in South America hit us up for some help, so we helped troubleshoot some things and help that guy out too. So, we try to help out anywhere we can, even if there's a language barrier. Sometimes Google Translate can help you out, and we have used that to communicate with people that don't speak real good English and stuff. And I don't speak much of any kind of other foreign language, so it helps me out too, trying to figure out what people are trying to ask and need help with. But, alright, well, enough of that stuff. Let's get in this thing and show you a little bit about it. I'll power it up here. Okay. So this little deal here, this is kind of like your fence performance gauge. So depending on how high up this goes, tells you the condition of your fence. So as if you walk by one day and it's going up into this green up here, and white hooked up to the fence and ground, you should be good to go. It means not much stress on the fence. You should be good to keep your animals in place or keep animals out if you're trying to protect something. But if you walk by, say, the next day or the next month or whatever, and now the gauge is down in this middle green, you're still not doing too bad. You're still going to be okay. But if you go by and it's only pulsing into this low green or just a red and you can hear it clicking, usually that means you've got a pretty heavy short. It takes quite a bit of power or drag on the fence to really drag one of these bigger units down. But if you've got it down in here and it's as high as it'll go and it pulses and clicks, something's dragging the fence down. Either a whole bunch of wet grass or a bunch of dead shorts, bad insulators. Just whatever is touching between the ground soil itself and the fence. So it could be anything metal that's touching that shouldn't be touching, or a whole bunch of grass dragging it down, or broken tree limbs everywhere, push the fence over from a big windstorm. You know, it can be whatever. But we'll go ahead and we'll test this unit. I'm not going to bother. I've already put it back together. These things are a pain in the neck to get apart, and unplug things just to get the case open. So I'm not going to even bother doing that. It's too much of a headache. So I'm just going to test the unit. I'm going to turn it off real quick. I'm going to grab these knobs and pull the knobs off, or at least loosen them up enough where I can touch them with that. I just don't want to, you know, grab a knob or something like that in it. Okay, just want to make sure I can get my meter under there, so it doesn't bite me or anything, shock me on accident. Tester I'm using, I don't have the one tester I wanted to use. I don't know where I set it at, but I'm going to use this. This is a Zariba American Farm Works tester. It does okay. So I'm going to hit the ground side and then the hot side. And we're getting about 9,000 volts at the terminals. Let's let the thing shut off for a second, the meter, and then we'll go back and we'll test the half power. We're getting just shy of 5,000 volts, so that's reading right. Now, next thing I want to do, turn it back off again. I'm going to hook up a standard load to it and see if I can. Hold on. What we're going to do, I'm going to shove, this is a split bolt deal, so I'm going to shove this ground probe in there. I'm going to smash it down. And I'm going to take this, do the same thing. I'm going to shove it in there and smash it down with this so I can sort of hold it, make sure it works. And then I'm going to take my loads and I'm going to put it across these terminals and see how much it drags it down by, and on the voltage wise, and see if it drags this light down. This is a standard 500 ohm load. Closer you get to 0 ohms between fence and ground, the more of a dead short it is, the worse of a drag it puts on it. So this is 500 ohms. This is just a standard load that most manufacturers use for testing and stuff. And so we're going to put it across here. What's going on here? Let me get my bigger diode. It didn't really make a change. Maybe 500 ohms won't do much to it. So I'm going to put 150 ohms on this thing and see what we can do. Well, it didn't make it. It is dragging the unit down on the lights, but it's not changing on the meter. I don't like these stupid Zariba testers. Well, then we'll do this. We'll smash the load tester. We'll smash it into the deal. And then I'll take this, touch it over here, but then I'll also touch this here and see if we can get a reading out of it that way. Maybe it has to like reset itself. Okay, see, now it's reading different. See, it dragged this 150 ohm, which is a pretty heavy load, dragged the tester down to about 7,000 volts. But you could also see how it dragged the lights down some. See, it's going all the way up to this top green one right there. I'm going to put this short on there. See, it dragged down to that one. So it's a pretty heavy load. 150 ohms is pretty heavy, and it's still going pretty hard. Like I said, it was reading 7,000 volts with it, and it was 150 ohms is pretty heavy. You know, only way to really mess it up. Ooh, even that big resistor I'm using is pretty hot. So let's we'll put a dead short across it with just a wire and watch what the meter will do. This is like worst case scenario. Put it here. I'm going to get real close. I'm going to just touch the the hot side. See? Now we're dead short of it. See how that lights just don't flash at all? As soon as you fix your problem, you know, it builds right back up again. Let me take this meter off. I don't need that on there no more. So I always want to do a little spark jump here to show you how much this thing, how big of a spark this thing jumps, or how bright it is. See? Nice and hot. These videos that we do showing these bigger units sparking and throwing this big heavy jump, they don't do it any justice. To hear that thing go off is like a small little firecracker going off, and the brightness of it is just so bright. You know, these Stafix and Speedrite units. I mean, when you get these bigger Joule units in general, whether it's Gallagher, Speedrite, Stafix, those are the three. Those are about the only brands that really make bigger units. Well, Cyclops, they also make a 30+ Joule unit, 20+ Joule unit. So, but anyways, when you get to a bigger Joule unit, the spark that those big units throw is, you know, you can't. It's pretty neat. It's pretty powerful. There's bigger units out than this one, but you know, when you get to some arcing on my on top of that bolt there from me doing that spark jump deal. But yep, this is one that we fixed for a customer. But if you've got one of these, you know, don't throw it away. You know, box it up and send it here. We'll be happy to take a look at it. We work on all brands, all ages, all styles, AC, DC. You know, battery 6 volt, 12 volts, and you know, solar units. We work on all that stuff. No matter how old it is, if it's 60 years old or older, or was made a couple of days ago, we'll work on all that stuff. So, but it's a good working unit now. We get free quotes, and we do 18-month warranties on everything that we work on, repair-wise. So, so if you need any help with one, just look us up on our website. Send us a question down below in the comments area. Send us an email, call us, text us, whatever you want to do. We'll be happy to try to help you out. But until we do another repair video or how one works or whatever, we will see you later.